name is Kat Gainsbloom, and I'm from New Philadelphia, Ohio. My clean date is August 1st, 2016. It's Jerry Garcia's birthday. Yeah, I'm a huge Dead fan, so I thought that that was kind of cool, a cool way to end up celebrating Jerry's birthday. I was about 12 years old when I started drinking, and I did it backwards too. I didn't start drinking with my friends and end up alone. I started drinking alone and ended up with friends. Well, drinking was just really normal in our household. I mean, with my dad raising me, he drank, and it seemed normal. Him and his friends were partying, having fun, and I could tell that there was something going on with this thing that they were doing with drinking, and I'm not sure exactly what possessed me to take the first drink, but then immediately afterwards I realized what that was going on, and I never wanted to stop doing that. I felt that first sensation of whatever problems a 12-year-old might have start to fade away. And I just remember laying on the carpet in my bedroom and with the room kind of spinning and being like, okay, yeah, this is it. I get it. I'm gonna do this. I was kind of like a late bloomer with other drugs. I mean, it wasn't until I was the summer before my senior year of high school that I even tried another drug aside from alcohol. And it's really interesting. I probably don't want to include this, but it was someone from my youth group. He asked me and my friend that I was at the fair with if we wanted to go hang out, and so we said, yeah, we left the fair, and then he pulled out a doobie and started smoking it, and and it was like, this was someone that I actually really looked up to in youth group. He was a couple years older than us, and he was, part of like the worship group and stuff like that. And I was just kind of like, it made it more so okay, even more so, just because I was like, well, if he's doing it and he's not, he doesn't look like he's dying, and it like kind of solidified that. So in a way it was peer pressure mixed with curiosity, mixed with comfort with who I was with. Definitely didn't feel like I had a normal life. I was raised by a single father, went to Catholic school for 9 years. Didn't feel normal. We didn't go on vacations like a normal family. My dad was extremely against the grain, so there was a lot of intentional dysfunction. Intentional chaos. Actually, my dad used to call it controlled chaos. So, and I really believed, actually, that was one of the first things that I argued with Derek in IOP about this concept of controlled chaos. And I felt like he was trying to burst my bubble, and I'm like, it's a thing, I'm controlling this chaos. I have control over this specific level of chaos, whether it's, the junk drawer. It's controlled chaos. Like, I know it's in there, but you wouldn't be able to tell. I have a daughter. She will turn 9 next month. And she was my motivating factor. I mean, they tell you need to want recovery for yourself, but she was my first motivating factor. Even while I was using, I could look around and say, there is something seriously wrong here. That, like, this isn't what I should be doing. There was still that thing in the back of my mind saying that this isn't the way I should be handling this, raising her. The wake-up call of the consequences of my using bringing me to a point where I lost legal rights to my own child. It was what I needed to realize, you can't justify this forever. I could have rode on that forever. It's like, I really just wanted to put the blame on somebody else because I was a good mom. It couldn't be my fault, She wasn't with me when I got busted. Like, come on. Why would they take her away from me when I was actually on vacation? I got caught with some drugs on vacation, like, so I can't be a parent now. And You know, it was all the big bad courts taking my kid away from me, and I didn't understand why. And it took a little bit of time to realize that I lost my daughter. She wasn't taken away from me. The easiest, hardest thing you'll ever do is just holding on for that moment. You know, that moment that you realize it's not a struggle anymore. Because you reach that moment. You will reach that moment. It's a real thing. I looked back one day, it was like, you know, we don't get to experience our own growth. We only look back and say, oh wow, I've grown. Like something's different today. I don't know how many times in recovery I've looked back and said, like, this is different now. You know, being able to hold my coffee with one hand. One day it was different, you know. And some days I still have so much anxiety I prefer to use two hands so I don't spill it on myself on accident. But just waking up and realizing things are different. It's been 3 years. And you wouldn't change it. You still wouldn't change it. And then there comes more gratitude, like, thank goodness I held on. Like, all the miracles, I wish I could put them all in a basket and hand them to every addict and just say, look at this. Like, but the thing is, most of the miracles are internal anyway, so it's like, if the best I can do is just go to work and go to school and pick my daughter up on time and, you know, get her to her soccer practice and then come home and make food and sit down and play guitar and, you know, help her with her flashcards, and that's the best that I can do to show you the miracle, like, you know, that's just my life today. That's really all I have to give, you know. For me, it took a village. You know, I think that maybe people have this idea of a village in their head, but, you know, my village was small. It wasn't this huge, it wasn't, you know, a huge city. It really was a village, but it was my village. It was, you know, all of the people that crossed my path, that helped me along my way, the people that I didn't know even played a part. Be willing to relinquish sole control over this. I had to ask for help. I had to accept that help, and that's the hardest thing for me. I'm stubborn. I don't want to accept that I can't do it on my own, especially if it's something that I think that I should be able to do by myself. I went into the bathroom and I was walking past the bathroom mirror and I caught a glimpse of myself, and I double took and looked at myself, and I had this really crazy moment where I locked eyes with myself and I stared into my own soul, and I was completely at peace. And that was huge because I could not even stand to catch a reflection in a window, a reflection in the mirror. You know, if I was doing my makeup, I would not look myself in the eyes while I would be doing my makeup in a mirror. I couldn't, there was a lot of pain of making eye contact with my own self. And the day that, you know, I probably had a 1.5 years clean, and the day that I caught my own soul in my reflection and was completely at peace, it was like, holy crap, holy moly.